Hey, what's up, folks? It's your boy Derek, aka Dash Sheep. Hope everything is going well. Let me go ahead and put you on real quick after I do a little bit of scenery. And here we go. Hey, what's up? And I got my little buddy here and such. Anywho, yay. So, how's it going? Yes, this is a lot different than usual. I know. Usually I play games on here. But for those of you who aren't too familiar, I actually 2 years ago actually started my social media appearance as a creator and actually making games. And believe it or not, it's actually been on my mind for a long time. Give me a second. I just want just this one thing out. Okay. Oh well. All right. Anyways, I ain't gonna worry about that. Um, I've been wanting to work on game development for a while now, but my only issue was that I haven't really had much influence, and so therefore I decided actually to yesterday I got on and I saw that there was a game jam and decided I want to enter that. And then today I saw this and super late to the thing. Sorry about that, Kyle. But yes, this was made by Twisted Crystal Games. Um, you may know him, or you may know him as YF Techno. Um, he does have a channel and such, and as you can see, this is going to be due on May 15th. So yeah, this is the 2024 Street Grimoire jam, and so just a little brief update and such. What it's about. Um, it is essentially, and I will go ahead and I'll put the. In fact, I will go ahead and do the honors of putting um the link in the chat there. Um, And so, if you are interested, you're more than welcome to, go join it and such. If you have an itch, he does say, I'll just skip down real quick. He does say over here that I forgot what it was. It's like essentially, if you're not able to submit without itch, if you don't have an itch account, you can contact him personally. It doesn't have to be a TTRPG. It could be a video game. And I did think about maybe I'll do like a game. Maybe I'll do like a little video game. But you know what? I kind of want to go back to the roots and such, And I did make a game of for myself once upon a time. I made ES Punk. Hey, what's up? Awesome. How's it going, man? Hope you're doing well. Yeah. Um, I'll just explain this. So, essentially, what is this? Let me go ahead and read this. It says, Street Grimoire Creative Jam is a TTRPG based game jam where any project is allowed as long as it can run, inspire, or help a tabletop role playing game set in a modern world with its traits connecting fantasy and science fiction. Uh, that's good to know. It's going good. It's going good here as well, man. I have to actually I'm gonna have to bum rush this because I don't have too much time. I honestly wanted to do this a lot earlier today, by the way, the stream. But I started working out again, and now it just tires me out and such, and plus just so much distraction. But yeah, so I'm not gonna be able to be on here too long. Might end up being here for maybe till 8:30, 9 o'clock, maybe. I have to see. But anyways, so yeah, so from what I understand, it's just as long as it's related to TPRPGs, um, The rules is it's fairly simple. It's like, you can make anything related to, to the general theme of modern day TTRPG related things. Does mean it has to be a TTRPG system? No, they accept the video games. Right? It would even accept stories set in a modern world. So it tends to be chill and all that jazz. Okay, so here's the thing. All right, I'm gonna go through my creative process. So one of the things is, so earlier I was looking at this, and it was talking about. Actually, let me do one thing. All right, so don't look at it. Anyways, anyways. So it says in this Crave Jam, when you submit, you may select it to be grouped in any of the themes below. The themes are designed to help you generate ideas. I realize like on the screen it's probably gonna look small, so I'm gonna like zoom in a bit for those. Uh, you're playing okay. I'm playing Warframe in the background, so responses might be a bit spotty. That's fine, man. That's understandable. People have lives. I ain't tripping about it. Um, let's see. The themes are designed to help you generate ideas, but we will also use them to rank ones based on closeness to themes when being judged. Your submission only needs to be able to say that it's on theme to the themes that you designate as the ones you chose. I encourage you to refrain from selecting all of them unless you feel confident that your submission truly hits them all. Okay, so um, one good thing I know, like one of the things that game jams they tend to do is they give you themes, and honestly, I think this is it's really good that it does that because I will say I am one of those people where I have a hard time focusing and thinking of. I'm gonna change the lighting. Change this lighting. There we go. It's like so that way I show up a bit more. Um. Anyways. So yeah, this they have this year's themes. This year's themes are analog horrors, dreamwork teamwork, folklore themes, groovy gravity, and literal loose screws. So I was and this actually was I was looking at this and this was actually giving me I was actually brainstorming this a lot during like working out and all that jazz. And I actually remember one of the things that I was thinking to myself was, um, give me a second. I'm like getting straight because I want to like I just want to share this. I'm like trying to tell people, you know what I'm saying? Give me a second. But yeah, just want to tell more people that hey man, I'm streaming right now, bro. Check me out, guys! Yay! All right. So yeah, I was saying that essentially I tend to um somebody else I want to like share this with. There we go. There we go. Okay. My thing is this. Okay. All right. So I was thinking about these, and one that was coming to mind, which I thought was really cool, was the literal loose screws one. Um, I think that one I would love to do something with that. Like I thought about like okay, so my thought was it was either like I felt like that one sounds like it could be like a sci-fi thing, maybe with a mix of fantasy. So the idea I thought was like you're playing as you can either play as these screws and like whatever you go into, like you screw into something and like essentially like you can possess them or whatever, and like you get like these whatever powers and such. Or the thought was gonna be that I was thinking of like kind of something like that, or it could be like you have the power like whatever screw you grab it from, like like say you grab like a screw from like say um I actually might do that one. I actually now that I think about it, like kind of want to do that. There's like this idea of like you get this. So let's say for okay, so the idea was that you grab a tech, right, and like uh, you would essentially you get a screw. Let's just say the main idea or the main gimmick, because that's kind of one of the things. It's like when it comes to making sometimes the game, it's like you gotta think of that like, what's the gameplay? What's the one thing that people are gonna want? And I was thinking about that, and a more in depth one would be you could be like you're essentially you like maybe like a cyborg or something, but essentially you grab a screw from something and like you put it in yourself, but you could get like the memories or the knowledge or even the abilities of that said thing. So like say for instance, like that's actually that'd be kind of cool for like say espionage, where it's like, oh okay, like hey, we gotta get into this door, but we don't know like the key or something. So we like you just like unscrew it or whatever, and it's like, oh okay, well like now I know like the key code and all that jazz. So it's like, all right, cool, without triggering it or anything. You're like, shh, all right, cool, something like that. That sounds kind of dope. Um, that'd be really cool to do, actually. I think that'd be cool. I think I kind of like that. I kind of like that one. Uh, I was actually thinking about this DreamWorks Teamwork thing, and I had an idea. Actually, man, I hate. So that's one thing about like when it comes to creative stuff. Like I appreciate it, man. Yeah, I had this other one, and it's been this one for a while, and it was supposed to be about it was gonna be. I've had this idea for a long time. It's like I don't know, like I was even gonna call it like United Blessings and Curses. The idea was that, and I might do that in the future, where it's like you're playing with your friends, and essentially, and it's supposed to be more of a group thing, but like you have a blessing that you could bestow upon everyone, whereas you also have a curse, and it's based off of like if you crit, for instance, your blessing to yourself as well as everyone else would be maybe say for instance you become um endurable, like you could take as many hits as you can for the rest of the battle or for a certain amount of time. um but maybe say your curse could be that um you take double damage and that affects everyone. Hey Tomato, how's it going? So yeah, we're going to I'm just like right now I was just explaining this and I kind of talked myself into a game I want to make. I had a different idea, but I think I'm gonna so I'm gonna go with this. I think I'm gonna go with this. Analog horrors. I'm not too sure what that one's really supposed to mean. I think that kind of relates to like maybe video game stuff or movement. But I'm like, no. Like I said, I thought about the DreamWorks teamwork. Um, but now I'm like, I've been more leaning towards this, and I like this. I like this idea. So just a refresher, the idea I just came up with, Tomato, is that so um not to hear screw. I think I want to go with like you're like essentially you're like a cyborg or and like essentially you can inherit like these abilities based off or knowledge based off of whatever screws you put in yourself. So like say for instance um like one idea that comes to mind is let's say you're in a highly guarded facility, but there's like a there's a screw loose or whatever. And so you like maybe in like on a keypad or something. So you take it and such and put it in yourself, and then you're like the code. So then now you can be able to use that code. Um, or you can even be like maybe say for instance if you got it like say a gun or something like I don't know a weapon, you can be able to use that. But I think I kind of want to go with that one. I think I want to go with that one. So yeah, so I'm gonna go through my process of what I do when it comes to gaming. By the way, and so I have for instance my own folder. Uh, Thank you. Yeah, and like for games. So I got a bunch of games. So this is gonna be a TTRPG one. So we're gonna go in here and all that jazz. And then so what do I want to call that game? I have Emoto. Um, but that was supposed to be like it was supposed to be like you're like a robot or something. Like it was supposed to be like a mecha game. It's supposed to be based off of your emotions. So I think I'm gonna go. Maybe that could be the thing, Emoto. But like I don't want to do like something like ultra like um. I don't want to do something like ultra vulgar or anything like. I mean, I can imagine somebody with that idea that be like, "Screw this" or something. And I was like, um, I'm trying to think. What do I want to do? Uh, Dang, I get stuck because I actually like to come up. I'll tell you what. What I'm gonna do is this. I'm gonna create a new folder. So we'll call this one the 2024 Street uh Grimoire Jam TTRPG. Okay, so you create a folder. There we go. I want this to be like I don't have to do this, but I like to do this. So I want to make this like the same as everything else. There we go. All right. Now we go ahead and so first and foremost, let's go into documents. So once again, um, rename. Let's see, copy. Because what I'm gonna do is that's what it's gonna be called. So paste. Um, It's gonna be like outline. All right. So we're gonna outline this, and I want to make this actually like legit fun to do. So that's why I'm gonna change the font and everything. Okay. So Open Sans. Okay, we'll do that. Okay, Open Sans. And okay then. So and then once again paste outline. Okay, so I like to do the space thing. So make this single space, but I'll put like a space afterwards. All that jazz. Uh, by the way, I meant to ask. I realized. I'm sorry, Tomato. How are you doing? By the way. Um. Yeah. All right. So outlining this. Now we're gonna go ahead and like. So I want to go into doing like okay. So the name. Um. I'm gonna be like N/A for right now. I'm gonna leave that alone for now. Okay, so then what do I want to do? Um, But first, let's come up with a premise. And so the premise, I want to say that, like I said, um, in today's time, I kind of almost wonder, doing okay, kind of headachy and groggy today, but otherwise good. I imagine so. You did wake up early, so that's a thing. Let's see. Okay, setting. Is this set in a modern world? Does it have something that's fantastic elements like dragons or robots? Okay. All right. Got you. Got you. Themes. How well does this fit? Oh, okay. Creativity. So it has to be in a modern world. Okay. So it's kind of hard to do like a bit of sci-fi with today's time, but I'll work with it. I could say in an alternate timeline. I could do that. So I think that's a thing. Okay, I think I'll do that. Um, yeah. So actually, before I even do the premise, I actually do like to do more things. But let me look at. I'm gonna look at another game I did once upon a time on here if I can find it. Oh, it would be under Mirage. Okay, and then there's like Nine Lives, and then yeah, remember this guys? Like I gotta. I've been mean to, and I'm gonna say this real quick. I really do apologize, guys. Like what do I do? Can we hide this? So I hide this real quick. Thinking like you can like yeah, it should be like anyway. Why is this not? Oh, cause wait a minute. Is it? Yeah, I'm like, why is it not showing up? That's weird. Okay, there we go. Outline. All right. Um. Okay, system. Okay, so I did that. Okay, so that's what I did. Okay, so I did do a premise, but before that, I do want to do a system, so that's what I want to do. Okay, so system. I guess I could go with a basic. Actually, I want to go with a D100. I want to go with a D100 system. Um, so I did want to do that. I want to do D100. Oh, hold on. Sorry about that. Okay, I was like looking over here. All right. So yes, so I want to do D100. I did do and I was also supposed to do like a format. So format, of course, TTRPG. Okay. Well, it's a game. This just helps me, like as as a writer. Sometimes I like to, for instance, well, I may have an idea for a story or something, and I'll go like, well, I don't know, like, should this be like a short story or a novel or script or whatever, blah blah blah. So it kind of helps me narrow down. So okay, um, so I want to do this. Okay, so I'm gonna do D100. And I was like, did I? Okay, so let's just for the sake of things, I want to make it like okay, I do capitalize this. Okay. Okay, so fine. All right then. Then I want to go for let's see. Um, let's see. What do I want to do? I do have the premise. So, but I want to like kind of go into more into before any of that. I want to do setting. So I want to say today's time in an alternate dimension. an alternate dimension where I want to say where robots, androids, and cyborgs let's see, yeah. So androids, so so robots, androids, and cyborgs. I'm wondering if there should be another category of that, but I'm gonna just let it be. Um, I'll say coexist. I don't want to be like coexist with people, with human people, and fight against. Uh, let's say human and with human, and I'm gonna call them altered folks. With humans and altered folks. I feel like that's getting too. No, well, let's call them. Let's keep it simple. Let's say with humans and animals. Okay. Uh, okay. So we have that. Okay. So it's set in today's time. All right. Next, we want to go into doing a little thing of. All right. So that's the setting. What else did I do? Okay, so I went into the premise. So let me read this. Okay, so you have 9 lives. You just lives. You attain supernatural ability. Okay, so let's say maybe so now that I know where we're at, okay, kind of know when and where. So we're in today's time, but it's like in an altered dimension. Where robots, androids, and cyborgs coexist. Uh, so that being said, um, now I want to go into like, okay, as either a person, because I feel like as a human, like you could play this too, but maybe there could be something a little like we'll see. As either a person, or rather as a let's just say as a robot, android. I kind of want to do like I don't know why, but I kind of want to do like so as either an android, cyborg. Actually, I want to do a hierarchy thing here. So a robot, android. That's why I did it. Cyborg, or just a normal human/animal. You discover the ability to learn the history or obtain of learn the history of or obtain the uh, functionality. Is that what I want to say? The functionality, or well, let's say the mechanics, or the mechanics. There we go. Of certain machines based contain, yeah. Okay, so you discover the ability to learn the history of certain machines of, let's say, machinery in general, machinery using their screws. As a robot, let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Depending on the circumstance, and I would say, or rather, whatever the GM decides to put players in. This may be useful for espionage, combat, or normal. What's the word I want to use for? So to say essentially everyday life, or just the normalcy of everyday life. Okay. So, okay. So I want to read this back real quick. Okay. So as either a robot, I kind of feel like I kind of want some music. I don't know about y'all, but I kind of want some music. I don't like go into a little too crazy, you know what I'm saying? But like just a little something to kind of help out. So let me go ahead and let's go ahead and do that. Let's play a little soft jazz for work. All right, let's see here. Okay, we could do this. Go ahead and do that real quick. I don't know what's gonna happen here. Well, I don't like that. Let's skip that. Okay, and don't put show. There we go. I don't know if I'm gonna get flagged for that. But anyways. Okay. Alright, so what we have so far. Okay, so we know this is a game, it's a TTRPG. I'm gonna use the D100 system. It is set in today's time in an alternate dimension where robots, androids, and cyborgs coexist with humans and animals. And then essentially the story is that as either a robot, android, or cyborg, or just a normal human/animal, you discover the ability to learn the history of or obtain the mechanics of machinery using their screws. Depending on the circumstance, whatever the GM decides to put players in, this may be useful for espionage, combat, or just the normalcy of everyday life. Okay, now I think the only thing about that is I think that sounds good so far because we kind of know, like, okay, what are we? So it kind of gives you, what I want to try to establish here is, okay, one, you know what you get to play. You get to play either a robot, so essentially your classes are either robot, android, cyborg, or just human, or just regular humans slash animals. Um, there's something I want to do only because I do want, like, I was thinking about something just now, but sorry, and I need to put on the thing like ADD, like, because I do struggle with something like that, so I do have a hard time focusing on things. So sorry if I'm like, if I kind of sound like I ramble or I just go all over the place. But anyways, let me start with the premise. So we know what we get to play, and we know, the gimmick. So we know the gimmick is that you know what you get to play: robot, android, cyborg, or human or animal. The gimmick is you get to learn the history of or obtain mechanics of machines, using screws, of course. And then we know what kind of stories we can make with this. So you can make, like I said, if you want to do an espionage game, you could do that. If you want to do, like, we're in combat and such, you could do that. Or, we'll just have a normal everyday life. But the one thing I kind of want to do is I want to have some fantastical element. And I mean, it kind of is. The only thing is that, like, I almost want to put in something like, say, for instance, that there's something that you, I'm gonna do something real quick. No, I don't care about that. Anyways. Oh, let me know, by the way, is the music too loud for you guys or if it's fine. I thought about maybe I do something like, for instance, or something like some magic here. And maybe you fight some magic things like yeah, I think I might do that. So going back up here, today's time alternate word. While dealing with magic infused oh, okay, thank you. Okay, there we go. Okay, so I kind of like that now. So, like, in today's time, in an alternate dimension where robots, androids, and cyborgs coexist with humans and animals while dealing with magic-infused creatures and machinery. Okay, there we go. Now it's like, because here's the thing. When I was doing the premise, one of the things I thought about was there has to be a drawback. And so one of the major things I've learned as making a game, as I continue on making games, is that you kind of have to have, seeing the word right here, thanks to Galloping Tomato, is balance. You gotta have a balance of, okay, I get to win, but what can I lose? And it can't just be like, say, for instance, you get damaged and you lose your life. Like, okay, well, so what's the drawback? There has to be a drawback. Say, for instance, if you use a certain magic spell, or something in a game, there could be, like, for instance, like, you could mess up the spell, and let's say if you mess up the spell, maybe nothing happens, or say if you're trying to do a fireball and like it could explode in your face and all that jazz. So that's where I think for this, I want to say, be careful though, as one could lose themselves in trying to I want to use the word connect for some reason. Trying to connect with said screws. Or it may even become one themselves. I don't know, like, would that be a thing? Could that be a thing? Have no fear for, hey, what's up, man? Oh, thanks for the follow, bro. Hey, everybody. This is the creator of this jam that I'm working on. YF Techno. How's it going, man? Or Kyle. You can refer to him as Kyle. How's it going? Yeah. So I'm trying to do this, and so I want to share with you what I have so far. So, of course, it's a game. It's a TTRPG, of course. I'm gonna do a D100 system. Oh man, gosh. Oh man, I'm with you, man. Middle and high school English teacher here, man. Like, I got you. I only got a couple more weeks. I actually got 2 weeks left, and I'm happy. Yay! So this week coming up, and then a week after that. Oh man, praise God. But yeah, so I'm with you, brother. Anyways, so the setting I'm saying is today's time, and let me know if I'm going along with the rules since you're here. If not, like, I can like totally change it up. But I said today's time in an alternate dimension where robots, androids, cyborgs coexist with humans and animals while dealing with magic infused creatures and machinery. The premise is as either a robot, android, cyborg, or just a normal human/animal, you discover the ability to learn the history of or obtain the mechanics of machinery using their screws. Depending on the circumstance, or rather whatever the GM decides to put players in, this may be useful for espionage, combat, or just the normalcy of everyday life. Be careful though, as one could lose themselves in trying to connect with said screws. I don't even want to say like, or become one themselves. I think I'll just do, or just lose their lives. Or just lose their lives and then just say period. Yeah, so I pretty much kind of talked myself into doing the literal loose screws one. Because I was just like, I was brainstorming that today, and I had all these different ideas, and I thought about that one. I was like, I really want to do this. So I'm just like, you know what? I'm going to go for it. And again, I honestly appreciate you, man, for even coming up with this. And yeah, I know I'm like, oh, got 3 days left, but I think it should be straight. Okay, I'm like using what I did for 9 Lives as sort of a, and I can actually just zoom in now. All right, as a sort of way to get myself, yeah. Anyways, no, I don't want to be here. All right, so now I gotta go back here. So okay, how to play. So this is what I need to do. I need to do how to play. And almost feel like you could just like, could copy and paste them. So of course, like, oh, but that's why I was over here, because I wanted to do this little bit right here. I mean, I am happy that the jam inspired you to create something. That is obviously the goal of it. Yeah, man, that's the thing. It's like for a minute, and I was just saying on here that, it's funny, but people. I know for a long time, for these past couple of months, I've been so on the whole streaming, like playing games. I do a character sheet. But yeah, but it's like, yeah, I actually started on, like, for Twitter, for instance, I started out as making games. But man, with school and everything, it's just kind of like, I don't know. So, and it's been on my mind, and I actually been like, maybe I should stream making a game. So, but I just like, what? So now I'm like, all right, this is actually helpful. Okay, so how to play. All right. So now I'm going to go into how to play the game. So, of course, like, first of all, of course, you create a character. So, it's the fun part, y'all. You do lots of writing and such. You create a character. Also going to be like, so one thing I would do is, this is where this comes into play. So I'm going to start on the character sheet. I need to come up with a name for this though. I don't want to think of, I feel like with the screw thing, like, people could go all crazy with that. Yeah, most of my streams is looking at others or just design streams where I and whoever is watching is just talking or designing. I am hoping to get back into streaming myself. Teaching the class really killed my extra time. I hear that, man. And actually, one of the things I've been wanting to do too, as far as streaming, is kind of do like a little podcast thing for, like, talk to people and such. So I'd be down, like, one day if you want to, like, collab, like, we get on Discord and, we could talk to each other, share ideas and all that jazz. But yeah, so I think that would be really cool. All right, so one of the things I tend to do, guys, is to make little character sheets here and there, and this will be like my prototype, of course. I feel like in a way I'm kind of teaching as I'm making this, so that's just me. You have to excuse me, teacher. So anyways, the basic thing I want to do is do this. So we'll do like character. Let's see, character name, Clouder. Hard to turn off that teaching bed. Yeah, for reals, it really is hard. Let's see, player. Let's see, character. Usually at this point you want to put maybe like the level, but I kind of want the level down here. Like, could do that. Well, I want to call it race or being. I say type. I want to call these types. It's like your type. Kind of want to do like playstyle. Let's see. I want to incorporate playstyle. Could just group. I don't know why, but I always like to be like, what kind of group are you with? But I think that's the I think that's the World Darkness in me. Like, you know, it's been a while. I really want to play World Darkness again. Particularly Vampire and Werewolf. And if I play Mage, I want to give it somebody good. I want to play with somebody who actually knows what they're doing. So anyways, let's see. 20th edition, by the way. Yeah, same here. I kind of had to like turn myself away from it, but I mean, it's kind of clear what some of the stuff I've been doing. Like, I'm super influenced by it. This light, I am not. I can turn it down. So, all right. Let's see. So and this is a good thing, by the way, guys, to have a prototype or something where it's just like before you go into the game, you want to figure out, okay, what's it gonna look like? So, player, character, type, want to be like something like, well, like I said, I want to do level. And the level, I know definitely that will determine on the number of screws you're allowed to, you know, inherit, you're able to use. I think I'll just do XP here. EXP. And maybe we don't really, well, kind of do need it. Like, I feel like maybe this could be more of a free. I think this should be a free form type game. You know what I mean? Where we don't need alignments. You don't need like, yeah, there's no like alignment system. I don't want to even want to do like a World Darkness where it's like oh, you're this type of thing, so you have to use this type of whatever. So I think that's fine. But although, yeah, think about it. Although, I guess to balance it out, because there is the whole thing of, well, what can you do? Because on the one hand, everybody could learn the oh, the speed. I don't think I really explained it, but like to speed you up, Kyle. If that's okay to call you on here. If you want me to call you Techno, I can do that too. So the idea is this. So here's a rundown. Let's say, for instance, I'm trying to get into a facility, like a highly guarded facility, and there's like a keypad or whatever, and I'm like, I need the code or whatever. So what I could do is like, okay, if there's a screw, I can like loosen it, or I can like, oh, whatever, and I like, let's just say if I'm like a cyborg, I put it in my arm, and I'm like, oh, well, I want to know the history. Yeah, you did. I don't care if people call me first thing. That's fine. It's like, I know. It's just weird because some people will be like, "Oh, what you calling me this?" Like, but it was right there, so I got you, man. I appreciate it. But yeah. Anyway, so like, I could be like, "Oh, I learned the key code right there." Another thing I could do too is say, for instance, if there's a weapon or something, like, or maybe say, for instance, I might get the attributes of that said thing. Like maybe say this screw came from a tank. Well, I can put that in me and I have like, the defense of a tank. So I think I kind of want to go for that. I want to. That's the idea. But my thing is, do I want everybody to be able to do that, or do I want it to be like, like certain people could do it, or certain machines or whatever, Um, but then again, also you get to play as a person, and it's the whole person animal thing. I was like, there might be a device you can use to run it. So that's kind of the idea. Although I don't even know if I want to do the animal thing anymore. I could still do it. Like it'd be kind of cool. Like you never know. Um. So, and actually, this is actually really fun to do. I kind of like this. By the way, I mean, it's just the whole streaming and talking to you guys as I'm going through the idea because I like to do it by myself as such, but it's kind of interesting being able to just talk it out and such. But yeah, so I think, for instance, I kind of want to. There's a part of me that's like, maybe that should be a thing. Of like, but I think it. Hmm. Hmm. On the one hand, I think that's a good idea. But the other thing too is, well, that just depends on what you want to do. And so, there we go. So that does give the whole idea of I think that can be a thing. So it could be like a what type are you? Um but you know what? I just thought of something though. Um I did say this world was felt like magic. It was like magic infused stuff. So I kind of want to go for a sort of, if there was a certain type of thing, like a certain way to, I guess, play. I don't know. Like I was thinking about magic something. Uh, I think this. Honestly, I think this should be fine. I think this should be okay. I think this should be okay. Honestly. Um. I don't know. We'll see. Well, it's like one thing I always do is like play by ear. So okay. So what did I do here? Okay. Create character. Um. Enter. Did I insert that? I did. You create a character. Okay. And then tab. Um. So like player name. Let's see. Player character type. Um. I almost forgot this concept. Um, that's what I've been thinking about. It's concept. Um, yeah, I think that. Yeah, okay, there we go. Concept. Concept. Okay, and then actually, now that I think about it, I'm gonna put type down here and concept up here. Now, let me do a thing real quick. Let me type in screw nails, a rod, a freeze of spiral, groove, and let's see. Let's see. What about German and other languages? Let's say other languages. Curlbin. I'm just looking up, like, kind of help me out a bit, like, figure out, like, what do I want to call this thing? Russian. Okay. Sukaryu. Sukaryu? Do I want to do that? Nail screw. Nail screw, okay. Sorry, I'm trying to figure out, like, I'm still on the whole name thing. Almost gonna be like something like piecing together. You know what? I do like that. I like that. Piece together. Okay. Even further. Piece together world peace. Yeah. PTWP. Okay. Okay. So I think we got that. I think we're gonna go with that. Okay. So concept, and of course, like I said, concept. Okay. And let me know if that name sounds good to you. Piece together world peace. Let's see. Type. And type. Just looking over here. Appreciate the mail, thank you. All right. Let's see, player. That is your name. Or nickname. Whatever you kids are into. I also like to do a little tongue-in-cheek humor here and there. Kyle knows. Hey, have I? Yeah, I think I have showed you my stuff. Yeah, I've showed you my stuff in the past. So I tend to do a little, like I said, a little tongue-in-cheek humor here and there in some of my stuff. Oh yeah. Oh, that's right. Oh. That's right. I'm so sorry, dude. Like, I'm over here, like, I honestly was not like, hey, man, like, judge me right now. No. Oh, my gosh. So sorry, man. I didn't even think about that. It's like, yeah, I get you, man. Like, don't. Oh, man. maybe in the future, like, other stuff, you know what I mean? Like outside of your own thing, yeah, I would totally be like, hey man, what do you think? Okay. So yes. So I like to do bullet points, by the way, people. That's my thing. It helps me be able to, keep things in track. So anyway, also I kind of want to do this little number real quick. Sorry, I'm one of those type of people. I like to there we go. All right. So player, that's your name or nickname, whatever your kids are into. Let's see. Character. That is, that's the name of the person / thing you play as. There's a reason I didn't join the jam myself. Hey, I got you. I got you on that. For this stream on this game, I wanted you to be aware that I am listening, just not wanting to get myself involved too much. Oh, I hear that, man. No problem. That's no problem. Let's see. Yeah, so like play as. And I'll put this here. I'll say if you use a nickname, maybe share with the GM or keep in notes about your real name. Unless you don't have one. Or keep notes about your real name. Okay, there we go. Let's see. Okay. Concept is essentially that's essentially, your occupation. Did I say that here? Sounds all right. Yeah. So your occupation in life. / title in life. Might actually just call it title, but anyways, for example, you could be a chef. Your occupation / label. Yeah, actually, I want to call it label. I don't want to call it concept. I'll call it label. There we go. Label. Yeah. Your occupation / what people, but others recognize you as. Okay, so we're going to change this. And actually, I'm going to change this name now to Peace Together World Peace. Okay, there we go. Label. Okay, so you got that. Then type what your character walks around as is known. whether your character, let's say this, whether your character is a person, animal, robot, android, or cyborg. Well, a cyborg is a person. I mean, and I think that's where I kind of like with the whole I was thinking about the whole normal people thing. I don't think I want to do that. I don't think I want to do that. So we're gonna go back here. And we're gonna say human or animal cyborg. There we go. There we go. I like that. I like that a lot now. Okay. Coexist with normal humans. Okay. Let's see. All right, there we go. I like this. Okay, so I'm liking this so far. And like I was saying before, I gotta say, it feels so good. It does feel so good actually doing something. It's weird, but yeah. I actually want to change the title real quick. I kind of want to do a little thing. So, to get. Piece to get. Kind of to give this idea that it sounds like a broken world. I'm always one of those types that just feels like, everything should work together in some way. Create a character, and let's see, what did I do? Yeah, then we go into stats. Now, it's been a while. Yeah, so stats. My little son here. Alright, anyways. Sorry. Let's see. Oh, it's 8 o'clock too. Okay. So we got a lot done. So far, I'm like, it's decided name. I was like, to get. Piece to get. Then you have, is a TTRPG. It's using a D100. The setting is like, it's today's alternate dimension where robots, androids, and cyborgs coexist with normal humans and animals while dealing with magic-infused creatures and machinery. It says, as a robot, android, or cyborg, whether it's and that could be either a human cyborg or an animal cyborg. You discover the ability to learn the history of or obtain the mechanics of machinery using their screws. Depending on the circumstance, yes, that you this may be useful for espionage, combat, and normalcy. So, in other words, you can either like I said, you could play. like a rogue type game, or like you're playing like a game of rogues, or you're going into combat with people, or you could just be like maybe like you just maybe you live an everyday life, like you guys have a job, maybe everybody's works in a restaurant, so you're like doing your thing, whatever it may be. Be careful, as you could lose yourselves in trying to oh no. I don't want to themselves. You could lose yourself, as you could lose yourself in trying to connect with said screws, or just lose your life. There we go. This is the English teacher moment. But point of views matter. Talking about, things like, for instance, first person, third person, that all matters. So when I'm saying you, it's making it feel more intimate, like you. If I put it in third person, it's like, oh, that could be anybody. But I want to draw you into this. All right. So then I talked about, for instance, how to create, how do you play? Well, first you would create a character. So you think of, you write down, write in player, character, label, and type. And like I said, I'm changing this to label. So the player, of course, that's you, the player. Then like the character is whatever your character is. The label is your occupation or whatever others recognize you as. And then the type is whether you're a robot, android, or cyborg. Then determine stats. So how do I do this? You divide your stats. Let's see. I usually do a thing. I guess I could do it in this one too to keep it as simple as possible. I almost want to incorporate the system like I have in the other game. Let's see. I'm trying to think. I might just be like, because it kind of almost could go into, I guess it could go into Call of Cthulhu style. So like you determine stats. What did I say here? I don't want to do that. We'll do physical, social, intellectual, and will. All right. All right. To do this, I want to say you roll your D100 for each stat. Let's see. The number The number resulted from said roll determines the number resulted from said roll let's see how much lower you need to roll in order to perform an action. Let's see, for example, you can, if your physical is actually do I want to do that? Kind of want to go like the route I've been doing with some of my games, although do something new. So one of the things I've been playing, and I should have been updating. So this is a game I did a little while back. It started out as Mark of the Wendigo, but now I call it Mark of the Nephilim, and it's part of the ES Punk and the Dying Lives universe. Excuse me. But essentially, the idea is that I started mixing D10s. I started mixing dice with I started mixing dice with points. So I kind of want to do a percentage thing. So I kind of want to do that. And yeah. So I think we'll do that. So I'm going back here real quick. So instead of experience points, I'm going to do percentage. And then I'll do set level. I'll just say number of screws. Because what I want to do is that the number of screws you have could be the number of abilities you can essentially obtain and stuff, or you can use at once. So there's that. Okay. Okay, let's see. So now, okay. So I'll still do this, but I'm gonna go down here real quick. So instead, I'm gonna do and we'll go ahead and we'll do this little number. Okay, this doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be perfect, So I think for this, I'm gonna say roll. So instead of system, I'm gonna do dice and point system. And for over here, we're gonna do like dice with D4, D6, D10, and D100. There we go. Roll for a percentage. There we go. Okay. So roll for a percentage. Roll a D. Which now makes me think about like. Roll a D100. I was like, all these numbers are. Roll a D100. Whatever the. Wherever the result is, that is. I still need experience points. You still need experience. I just realized that. So I guess one thing I'll do is this little number. So let me go over here real quick. I'll just answer this. So screws, percentage, type up here. Then we'll do, okay, so we will do a group thing here then. And then EXP. There we go. And group. So then now here, then I'm gonna have to do, I'm gonna explain this. So group name is determined amongst players and I'll say players and GM. This name could be the actual playing group or a group within the game itself. So hopefully that makes sense. Essentially, yeah. So if you're, I always like the whole idea of like, you know, if you're with a group, you know, what's your group name and such. So something like, say for instance, you know, maybe you might be like, you know, maybe, I don't know, Saturday group, you know, that could be a thing. Or you may, within a game, maybe you're part of a group called, I don't know, the Alliance. And like the Alliance is like, you know, made up of you guys and such. So that could be a thing. So I'm gonna put DA here too. Let's set a type. And I will, or even just a normal person or animal. Okay. Let's see. And I'm putting each type has their own, yeah, because now it is going into the whole like and this is a system I'm gonna incorporate with ES Punk too. So ES Punk, by the way, Kyle, when I get back to that, it will have both point system and as well as dice system. And it's gonna be amped up. Like, I promise you, man. Like, I think honestly I needed a time away from that game and to work on 9 Lives as well as a Mark of the Nephilim game to be like, oh snap, like I could do this for ES Punk to really make it feel more like a legit game and such. So each type has their own set of dice they use for actions. Let's see. I look forward to playing one of your games again sometime. Oh, yeah, I hope so too, Tomato. That would be, that honestly would be awesome. And who knows? Maybe we can actually even play this together. And play it over. So let's see. Each step has their own. So let's see. I'm gonna go with normal. Normal people / animals. It's like I'm going AFK. I'll keep the stream open. Wife wants to hang out. I hear that, man. That's what's up. Oh, by the way, Tomato. This is Kyle. Tomato. Tomato's my girlfriend and such. So, who knows? Maybe one day in the future. Group date. Anyways, have fun with the wife, man. Life goals. Alright, let's see. So go back. Normal humans. Normal people / animals use their D4s. Like you're a normal person. You're weak. Like I feel like most people probably want it, but there is an advantage to that. I'm gonna get this out of the way now. As well as their own advantages and disadvantages. Okay, so you have D4. Won't be. So they use D4 and will come off as non-threatening to I gotta call these things something. Magic infused to magic users. We'll just say that to magic users. So, on the one hand, you're a person. Oh, yeah. You're a person. Well, I only use D4s. Well, the good thing though is that you won't come off as non-threatening. You will come off as non-threatening to magic users, even in combat. So that means you can legit, as a normal person. It's almost kind of broken, but as a person, you can, or an animal, you could go into combat and you could fight a magic, whatever, whether it be a creature or a machine, and it's straight up, you just be like pop, 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 and they're like, no, we don't care, normal stuff won't use it. However, I think if you did play as a person, you may have a device where you can do the whole screw thing and then be like, yo, I could do damage to these things. So they may be like, even at best, they'll try to disarm you if that's the case. They may be like, oh, that thing is doing damage to me. You're still a person or you're still an animal. Doesn't really matter. But that thing is dangerous though. So yeah. Let's see. And I know, like I said, I'm going all over the place. But one of the things too is that's why again I like doing by bullet point. because it gives me a means to be able to go, okay, let me go do this, let me go do that. Like I could be able to go back up. Like I said, like I was able to go to this section and be like, okay, well let me type this up now. Now that it's on my mind. And again, as I go through, one of the things is like I try to think about it. Do I want to do this? Do I want to do that? That's just one of the things as a game developer I tend to do at times. Okay, so then you have normal people. Okay, so then which ones I'm gonna go with? Cyborgs. Yeah, I think cyborgs, because essentially it's a step up from a person. Um, they use a D6 thing, and again, I can imagine somebody going like, "Well, why cyborg? They use D6." Um, I think for them, the thing is compared to androids and robots, they have their own minds, and can become normal by detaching from cybernetics. Catch with detaching though. Once detached, dice drop to D4. I like that. I like that. And of course, I like that not just because I'm right, but I like that because that gives it a sense of like, okay, so essentially with that, you know, so as a cyborg, you have your own mind. Like you can do whatever you want. You're not programmed to whatever. However, uh, however, comma, yeah, you have your own mind, and you could detach from, you know, your cybernetics or whatever. That can be a thing. You can have a process where you could be like, I take off my stuff, and don't. So now I look like a normal person, even though you may be, for instance, like quadriplegic and all that jazz. And but the only thing is like, and that's something like it's bad thing or anything to anybody who is that, like, just saying. However, comma, you know, your dice rolls, you use D4s now. So that's the thing. I always get androids, but androids essentially are just like, they just appear. So they could just appear to be that. And of course they're, you know, a bit stronger. Can appear. I would say can blend in with humans and like let's say blend in with humans. I feel like an android, like I don't know, to be like a are there animal androids? Not like the phone. What's an animal robot called? Say. That sounds cool. Miro. Marine intelligent robot. Okay. So, anyways, that sounds cool. Um, let's see. Some nice little like fireplace. Wanna be at a fireplace? I think it can be. Oh, I do want to add this. Also, animals may revert back to animals natural states. There we go. Okay. All right. Can blend in with animals, humans, and animals. Let's do this. It's a game I'm making up, so it can blend in with humans and animals. It's a science fiction thing, man. I always feel like whenever people get upset about like, I don't know. I guess story wise is one thing, but getting upset about a fantasy or a science fiction world where it's like this doesn't make any sense. It's like, dude, it's a piece of fiction. Like, calm down. Like, that doesn't make any sense. Oh, naturally, like, animals can like detect and blah blah blah. Like, dude, chillax. Let's say compared to robots. However, comma, they become let's see, they come off as threats. Automatic threats to magic users. I really gotta figure this out. Like, what do I want to call those things? The magic users, and can be revealed as an android when magic is used. Wiring glows from under the skin. And I'll take to kind of explain that, to get that idea. And this is, I kind of like to do stuff like that to give an idea for GMs to understand. So for instance, yes. Yes. So for instance, yeah, you could be an android and you have a better you have a D8, so you could do D8 damage and such. And that's the thing with the D8s and such, is like you do D8 damage and all that jazz. So that's the whole thing about that. But anyways, that being said, though, yeah, sure. But if there's like a magic thing around, and like it's like you become like essentially like, oh, you're like a beacon essentially, like, oh, people can tell what you are now. And not to mention, you could become, so it's harder for you to like and because you become a threat to them. So because you're considered a threat, they're always going to fight you. So the moment they see you, they're going to be like, oh, you're this, we're going after you. So that's that. And then last but not least, we're going to go with robots. And by the way, based off of this, if anybody wants to answer, what do you think you want to play as? Let's see, robot. Oh, I forgot to also. Though they can function without direct command, they follow a code set by their manufacturer. Yep. So what that means is, if you play as a android, though, like, okay, for instance, robots, I'm gonna go ahead and say robots, obviously you get a direct command, like you're commanded by something, these are your orders and such. Hey, you're going to do this, hey, you got to do that, or whatever. Or you have preset codes, preset commands. However, you have to follow a particular code that your manufacturer says. So for instance, if let's just say if Sony was one, right? Let's say Sony is your manufacturer as an Android. Sony might be like, you could do whatever you want. Like, you could use any type of screws or whatever. But if it's Sony related, you cannot, you're not allowed to, like, do anything with it. Period. You can't even, like, whatever. Maybe that could be a thing. So let's just say, for instance, they're like, well, hey, we need somebody to figure this out. And they look to, say, you, the Android detective. They're like, hey, man, can you figure this out? Sorry, I can't. That's a Sony product. I can't do anything about that. Well, what do you mean? I can't tamper with it. It's against my code to do that. That's the thing. It may even be like, maybe you might do something like, for instance, we can't hurt, I can't hurt wildlife. And then it's like, okay. And then you're like, well, here's a magic infused wildlife thing. It's still wildlife. I can't fight that thing. Sorry, guys. It goes against my code. I could get terminated for this. So that's something to consider. And then robots, they do the highest damage. Must be controlled or pre-coded to do things outside of outside of label. Um, outside of label. Functions cannot blend in with humans and animals. Easily detected or easily identified and targeted by magic users. Okay. But I think that sounds like a whole bunch of flaws with that one. So what's the major thing? What's the major plus? Well, you got the D10s, so you could do more damage than anything else, literally out of everybody else in the party. And then I'll give this to a robot. Automatically obtain I say automatically obtain functions based on I'll say I'll do electric. Let's see. Let's see, no copyright. I'll use electric guitar. I don't know, like automatically obtain functions. I think retain. I think that would be one. I think that is actually like an advantage. It's like that almost sounds busted though. Like, so you can retain the functions. I was wondering about that. Like, I wonder. Retain the functions or must be controller pre-coded? I think the damage thing is fine. I don't think I want to do that, but I think what's cool is customizable. Okay, I think I'll keep that. I think that's the thing. Okay. Let's say 41. I'm about to like drop in a few. Determine stats. Okay, so now you get to here. So now we're in this part. Okay. So just catching up. Piece to get. And he uses dice and point system. You know, we know that, you know, robots, androids, and cyborgs coexist with normal humans and animals. I don't know if I want to say you can be a normal animal because it's like, but maybe you could be an animal, but you just like, maybe for instance, you have like, you have an altered brain or something. I don't know. But anyways, like, see however people do it. And I imagine there's all kinds of people out there that want to be like, I want to be a dog. All right, cool, be a dog, be a cat, whatever. So yeah, you discover the ability to learn history of or obtain. So we know that if you become any of these things, like, let me go ahead and mute this real quick. So this is fresh up. You can learn from things, you can learn of things, or you can attain the mechanics of machinery using their screws. So then, like, depending on the circumstance, you know, this could be played in any way. You can make all kinds of games. You may want to be careful because you could lose yourself when trying to connect with said screws, or you just lose your life. All right, so there's that. Okay. Then you like, you know, the way you do is you write up your character. So, you know, you write in, you know, so you player, character, label, type, and group. Player, type, and group. Player, you know, that's your name. Character, that's who you're playing as. Label is what occupation or, you know, what people recognize you as. So you can have a job, you could be a bum, you could be a boxer, you could be, you know, if you're an animal, you could be a support animal, whatever it may be. Circus bear, whatever. Like whatever you're thinking. Thing is like what type of thing you are. So each has their own dice usage and such. So like you have normal people. You know, you use D4s, but you will come off as non-threatening to magic users, even in combat. Because the only thing you're going to be using is weapons. And I'll say at best, they'll disarm you. They'll disarm your tech. There you go. So they'll disarm your tech. Cyborgs use a D6, you know, so you have a mind of your own. However, and you can become normal by detaching from your thing. But once you become detached, say, thus becoming less threatening to magic users. There we go. So you can detach yourself from that stuff. However, you know, once detached, dice drop to D4. Also, animals may revert back to natural states. So there's that. Androids, they use a D8. You can blend in with humans and animals compared to robots. However, you automatically are a threat to magic users and can be revealed as an android when magic is used. Your wiring glows under the skin and such. Also, although you can function without direct commands, uh, you follow a set of code. You follow code set by your manufacturer. And then you have robots. Um, that's DPS. You use the D10, whatever. Okay, great. I do more damage as a whatever. That's cool. You essentially become Robo. However, you must be controlled or pre-programmed. Not pre-coded. What did I say there? Pre-programmed to do things outside of normal functions. Cannot blend in with humans and animals. Easily identified and targeted by magic users. So there is that. And then you have your group. Your group is determined amongst players, or the player and GM. And then is there the name can be the actual playing group or a group within the game itself. So it's either you like I said, you could be like let's just say Twitch Saturday group. You may want to put that down. This character I use for Twitch Saturday group. Or in general, you may be like, okay, this is part in the game. There's a guild called I don't know, like the Twitchers. Well, let's just say that the Twitchers or whatever. Yeah. So there is that. Awesomeness, awesome sauce. um, let's see what is happening here. I'm like looking over here actually, and I'm like, why is this? Anyways, um, okay. Anyway, so that being said, now it's like to roll for percentage. I was writing this down actually. Um, I don't know. Yeah, roll for percentage. Whatever the result is, that is what you need to roll under in order um, to perform any action desired. So, yeah, and then let's go ahead and it's like, for example, you roll if your percentage is, let's just say, I don't know, 64, um, then you need to roll under 64 to succeed. However, if you roll over that number, bad things will happen. Or bad things. Either nothing happens or bad things could happen. Or could happen. Alright, there we go. Okay. So you have your percentage. Um, you may be able to. Actually, I'm going to put this over here real quick. This number could grow if you spend your dice. I mean, not spend your dice, spend your XP. If you spend your EXP. So, yes, you can actually use your EXP. However, comma, or rather, one, however, one, um, you cannot go over the number. I feel like it should be like at a certain point. Like you can't like. I think it should be like 90. You can't go over 90 or 80. You can't go over 85. Let's see. And I think that should be the case too. Like even down here, like if you're like, let's see, like if you're at a certain point, I feel like it should be like a thing of like you can't go over 80 or say 85, something like that. It could be just 90. It could just be 90, like 99. It could just do that. Like roll 99. Okay, fine. Well, great. Like, so you're at the best. But let's say if like you're at 100, it's like, nah, dude, you can't do that. Or like I said, 85. Kind of give like a little, little wiggle room. I'm gonna make it 99. So it's kind of funny because like, essentially, it's like you could kind of. I think actually this should be a thing. So I think you should leave at like 20%. Can I go over? If you roll over, and I'm gonna say this: if you roll over 85, you must do a re-roll until you get 85 or below. I think that's fair. I think that's fair. Wow. You cannot go over 85. So that's the thing. You can spend your points, you spend EXP. However, there's that. Um, EXP used here cannot be used for skills. I mean, not skills. I don't want to do skills for stats and screws. Also, I'm gonna say one thing. If you do this too, another thing is I think that should be I feel like it should be a thing. Yeah, that could be it. Just like, well, say for instance, you get 5 XP, and like, well, I just like I say you got 45. Well, I want to bump up to 5. Okay, we can spend 5, but you can't use it for anything else. I feel like I almost want to do like a thing of like you should probably deplete a stat too, but I think I don't want to do that. Uh, I think that can be a thing. Nah, no, because it kind of feels like that's kind of busted. You know what I mean? Like, oh, I just spent my XP. There we go. I put it up to 85. Um, I'm gonna say you must uh, sacrifice a stat level in order to make it permanent. If you do, if you use EXP within a session without this, then then the percentage resets. Okay, I think that's fair. So let's say, for instance, okay, you have, let's say if you saved like 40 EXP and you were at 45. So you're like, okay, I bump up to 85. It can either A, okay, I spend, let's see this. I think that, okay, I'm cool with that. Okay, so I said you must sacrifice a stat level per 5 EXP used in order to make it permanent. If you use over 5 EXP within a session without this method, then the percentage resets. I think that's fair. So let's just say, for instance, okay, well, let's say you have one of those people that go, like I said, 45. Um, and I'll actually even write it here. Uh, for example, if I got like a whole bunch of for examples. Uh, all right. Yeah. So for example, if you start a session with 45 uh, percentage, but bump it up to 85 with 40 EXP, you either spend, you either sacrifice 8 stat levels to make it permanent, or as is until the end of the session. Not storyline, session. What I mean by that is, oh, you can't see it because Death is in the way. Give me a second. But yeah, essentially, give me a second. Let me actually go ahead and do this rule number real quick. So, not storyline. Like I said, what this means right here, what that means is, okay, you cannot, like, oh, let's just say if it was D&D, it was like, Strahd, Curse of Strahd. Excuse me. No, it's not. Oh, well, we wait till the end of the Strahd storyline to, like, it reverts back. Leave it as is until the end of session. Man, it resets back to 45. All right. Gonna make that clear. Okay. So yeah, it's like I was saying, it's not until the end of Strahd. It's, if you're playing on Saturday, that Saturday, and I put my points up to 85, GM. Okay, bet. Are you going to sacrifice to keep it permanent? Nah, I'm good. Oh, okay then. Fine. Well then, all of that is gone. So that being said, one thing you can't do is, like, I guess in a way you could be like, maybe I should just be like, maybe lower it, because I'm thinking about it, I'm like, or maybe a raise up higher. I think by 5 is better. Um, I feel like people could just like bump it up by 4, and then it's like, well, how often are you gonna get that? You know what I mean? So that's fine. You know what I mean? I think that's okay. Anyways, might copy and paste this. You should defeat. Okay, I'm gonna copy and paste this, man. Like, I'm not going. You divide your stats. Okay, there we go. So I'm gonna go ahead. Copy. Oh, dang it! All right. Okay, let's see. And then uh, clear formatting. There we go. Oh wait. I want this to be. Yeah, there we go. Yeah. So pretty much, determine stats. You divide your stats. In that Nico. Yeah, I'm not doing 8. That was like when I was first starting out. That's when it does. Okay. Out of 10. Um, you should have at least 1 in each stat, so you could start with. Let's see. Oh, because it was like 2. Let's see. You know what? I don't want that to be. I don't want it to be Will. Let's see. Seek. What do I want to call these? I want to kind of social, intellectual. I've been doing the whole will thing, but I kind of want to call it something else, and that's why I'm thinking back to this. I don't even think I want to do screws here. And then we'll say dice. We'll put this. We'll put dice here. Okay, there we go. So label. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, dice. So just put that one dice. All right, there we go. And now I'm thinking about. I'm gonna call this one screw. But I also want to call it something else. So I want to see like interaction. What do I want to call the intellectual? What do I want to call this one? I want to do. I kind of want to do a mental thing. That's what I can think about doing, like things like this, like intellectual. Let's see. Using it as an adverb. But I'm trying to figure out like. Let's see. Synonyms. Alright, intellectual synonyms. Okay. Mental, cerebral. Ooh. Ooh, I think I'll do that. I kind of want to do that. Rational? Let's see. What's this? I think I might do logic here. I might call this logic. Interaction, logic, and screw. Okay. There we go. So then that'd be the case. So one, two, so that's three. Okay. Okay. So you should have at least one. So you can say, but you gotta have like, so you could do one, so one, two, so one, two. Kind of want to do that. Like, do I want to do that? Okay. Physical, interactive, interact, logic. Okay. So, anyways, um, so you have one. I'm trying to think. One, and then I have two, and then I have three. Yeah. So, like, you say one physical, two and interact, three and yeah. Okay, that's fine. I was like, I don't know what I was doing before. Anyways, um, and then of course, like this determines what you need below. Um, um, no, not that. I think this. What do I want to say about this? Let's see. The number of dice. This determines the number of dice after um, a percentage roll will be needed for certain actions. For example, you do um, needed for certain actions. For instance, if you go for an attack, you can roll. You can, with a physical of 3, do 3 actions, 3 attacks. Physical determines how much is that times 10. Okay, then you have I kind of want to do times 25. Then also, it each determines how many actions you could do in a turn. Um, each stat also determines the hit slash the attack slash defense use needed for certain actions. I'll say the number of attack damage or defense damage. I don't even know if I'm spelling defense right, but anyways, based on the type of attack. And I don't think I want to do that. I don't think I want to go screw. Well, I guess screw could be like, based on the number of screws that you're able to get and such, that you can do like certain functions with them. So you could put 3. So, but you can retain. That's why I think that's why the robot one, it's like, I think that would be the advantage there, is that, yeah, so you could retain. Um, um, retain knowledge or functions based on screws even after discarding them. Because one thing I'm going to say with screws is this: like in this game, I want to do a thing if, and I'm going to put a little note here. Um, I don't remember if like you should like ability. Okay, I'll say this. A note: screws once discarded lose all information slash functionality when used once. So, yes. So once you use a screw, that's it. So you got to be wise of what you do with it. So that's where it becomes a thing of, do I want to use this screw to get information, or do I want to use this screw for functions and such? So that's the thing. It's getting a little late for me, guys. Because I actually got to go out and do some door dashing. But I appreciate this, and thank you guys so much for this opportunity. Let me know if you want to see more of this stuff. Um, and let me go ahead and change this to peace Uh, Piece to get. All right. Anyways, that being said, like I was saying, um, yeah, if you like this, and let me go ahead and I'll go over to the camera. Yeah, if you like this, if you thought this was cool and such, let me know. I don't like that. I'm like, let's just start doing that little number. But anyways, um, although I need to see, so I guess I'll keep it as is. But yeah, let me know. I'm actually glad, and it's actually interesting, like the number of people watching, watching this. It was actually really cool. I'm glad to do some game dev stuff on here. It's been a minute, but I've been wanting to do game dev stuff on here, and this is really cool. So yeah, we've been on this whole TTRPG stuff, and I got till the 15th to turn it in. I enjoyed it. I was just practicing music and listening to and that's understandable to me. I appreciate you. I appreciate you, babe. But yeah. Um, that being said, I hope to do this more often. Like I said, um, you guys know the drill. If you're watching this on YouTube, which I plan on putting on there, although I'm wondering if I'm gonna get flagged because of the music I was playing in the background. I'll have to see. But um, um, please like and subscribe. But aside from that, this has been really cool. I'm gonna do this more often. Um, and special shout outs, of course, going to Tomato for comment, aka, and also for being being best girl that I like and such. Um, Special also for Awesome, also Gego for dropping on by and saying what's up. Hope you're doing well, man. And real special shout out to YF's Techno, aka Technomancer Kyle, or just Kyle, uh, for not only dropping by and for the follow and for the comments, but also just in general for uh, making this making this jam again. And I'm gonna show it real quick here. That is the 2024 Street Grimoire Jam. Um, 16 other people came in, and I got apparently like 4 entries so far. Um, but yeah, um, yeah, for creating this jam and just giving me influence. Like I saw he had posted, and it was like a little like I was like, oh, it's like I said, just and it's just been busy and such. And but I finally watched that video and I was like, oh, he's making a jam, and I was like, so I shared it and I just thought, why don't I do it? And yeah, and so also just for being an awesome, awesome guide in general, man. Like, honestly, I don't know if it's a guide, it's a guy. Anyways, that being said, he's an awesome dude, and check his stuff out. He has a Twitch on here. It's YF Techno, all together, and then you can find him on Twitter or X. He also does have a Discord. Um, so there's that. And then also, you can find him on Ko-Fi and, well, also itch.io. All that to say, and it's, like I said, been really cool. He was one of the few people when I was first getting into game development that shows support and interest in my stuff. And so I really appreciate it. And like I said, really cool guy. So, yay. But anyways, I gotta get going. You take care, kid. And I'm gonna be out, and I hope that everyone has a blessed rest of their evening. Peace.